Knowing the path and walking the path are two very different things. Hope is the flame that guides us through the darkest code. Every end is a beginning, and every beginning is an opportunity. Even the smallest choice can ripple through the system, changing everything.
Isn't that cool?
Sometimes the most important battles are fought within. Your journey is not about finding answers, but about discovering the right question.
I love this one.
The cookie is a lie, but the smell, that's real.
That's real.
You're waiting for something, but you already have the key.
So welcome to a rather interesting library.
Listen to the silence between the bits. Change is the only constant in the universe.
Great phrases, great phrases. Hi, welcome. My name's John Skippy Lehmkuhl. Hands together. Welcome. Hey, so this is a library called CybernaticA, created by SubsonicArtz. That is for UNIFY 2. And there's 2 additional versions available that is just the Repro patches or just the sample content, because there's kind of like 3 components to this. There's the samples, these over 700 phrases from 33 different characters that Fred created, came up with what they're going to say, how they're going to say it, process them to have all sorts of different vibes. You go from this to something like, like distorted voices, like what? That's just one character. So there's all these different samples across the keyboard of phrases that are able to be played, both here where they're randomly being called up because it's part of actually the drum metronome. So we've got a groove, and then he has these phrases and he has them being played where we've got this really cool thing called Jitterbox that can do random MIDI timing, but it can also randomly choose different notes. So each time it plays,
in the silence of the crash, right out of here now.
So each time you go to one of these patches, it's calling up phrases, drum grooves that are using custom samples for a lot of these from a drum kit that I designed for this library. So the samples is one library. The 239 Repro patches, which are here both for Repro 1 and Repro 5. So when you go to these patches like Cyclotron, that's using Repro 1. Now these don't have grooves. Some of them do. I think the arpeggio, these up here do. Right? There's pad patches and stuff that use Repro 5 down here in like the pads. And these are not your usual pads. These are very special pads. Fred has a way of pulling very different than what you'd expect to hear coming from Repro for some of these. Really, really nice. So the library of Repro patches is one component available separately if you don't want to have the UNIFY 2 version. There's the samples and all the phrases and the special effects and stuff I'll show you with some of these patches. That's a separate library if you want. Or the deluxe version puts all that together and also adds, as you see, custom artwork for every patch. So anytime you go to any of these patches and call them up and play them, it's this really cool interface. it's all this cybernetic universe. It's very much inspired by like the Matrix. Or the Animatrix. Or even such video games as like Cyberpunk, whatever that's 2049, Arc Raiders. All that's in there. So I'll give you a walk through the library. This is just kind of like a little introduction. At the end of the list in UNIFY, well, actually before the end of the list, right here are these drum grooves, which are, I've made a custom drum kit, custom kicks, snares. I recorded real toms. Like this Beautiful People uses a tom groove, so it's, love that. And you've got a control knob here, which will go through all these different patterns. There's 3 for Beautiful People. There's A, B, and C. The cymbal crashes and hits here and there and that kind of stuff. You also have drum kits down here, so you can just play them as a drum kit. So this drum kit, all the custom samples are included, as well as at the end of the list, all these zMENUs of special effects and blasters. Very cool. There's really cool scenes, environments in some of these patches. But there's some synthetic and crazy about it that's really cool. Then you get to the phrases, and as I said, there's 33 different characters, anywhere from Angel, and these are played chromatically on the keyboard.
It's magnificent. Don't worry, my friend, you are safe. I know the weight is heavy on your shoulders. They got you running in a maze that has no end.
There's Baby Robot. These are all made by AI. Fred carefully gave it instructions on how to create sounds, keeping it in character, what to say. Then he processed them after the fact, put them in UNIFY so that they're here.
Trust no one. Wars escalate. Remember, loyalty to your faction means everything. Hacked frequencies bring you the latest underground beats. This is resistance radio.
So you have these phrases to play with for writing songs around there.
You're already zeroed. Keep your sirens screaming.
Fuck the machines!
Shut the hell up.
I mean,
you glitch ahead.
It's not a G-rated library.
I am the key. A digital ghost that doesn't exist. The system is a cage.
So to make AI create characters with this kind of personality is... You know, it's...
Doch deine Wahrheit, die
some in
existiert
German.
nicht. Das Herz ist kein...
What is real? How do you define reality?
For a new age without you. Uploading the new world. Throw survivors authorized. Stop all humans new events now. Humans, you are redundant. Why do you persist to live? Humans are a plague.
I mean...
Machine is never alone. The skin cutting the feed. Silicon veins, a viral prayer.
Here's the oracle with those lovely...
Knowing the path and walking the path are 2 very different things. The power of belief is the most potent force in any reality.
So it's a really interesting library. You have all of these phrases, environments. When you get up here to the combinations, this is where it's all put together. And this is where the deluxe edition of the library really shines, because you can go up to something like Deus Ex Machina, and now you've got a Repro 1 bass. Turn on the groove with the Metro button. That turns on the metronome. You've You've got a sound in the... And then in the yellow area in the middle of the keyboard are phrases, those zMENUs. This is where you need to have a sequencer to play better timing than I'm playing. So you can build these worlds with phrases, with bass lines. Now go back and add some additional parts with maybe go up here and like, let's set this to unify layer so it adds something to this. Let's add something like this. And let's key range it so it's just to the lower part of the keyboard. Let's add something else. That's biotechnology. And this one here, we're going to tune it up before we can play it +7. Just for fun. Here it is by itself. Let's take it at +19. So that gives us a fifth, an octave higher. So if it's a bass line. And because it's unified too, I can open up this layer and go, different sound. Let's take it up another 12. So that'd be 2031. I need to click here to change the key range so it's not playing where the samples are. Have it also stop at B1. Stop at B1. So now. So you can build your own jams with all of these patches, all these rhythmic patches. There's so many all the ARs and BLs. These are arpeggiated bass lines. And then if you go down here below, there's even more. There's these sequence. Down here goes sequence and rhythm. So we could say sequence. So this will add another. Let's add a rhythm. Let's see what's this doing. Let's find another rhythm. So let's just go. There we go. And let's tune that up an octave or two. So we go here to the transpose. We say up 2 octaves. Let's turn the whole thing down. It's a little bit loud.
The matrix is a necessary cage. The world will be reborn in our image.
Get the idea. I mean, the tools are here to make really, really cool sounds using all of these patches, the samples, the drum samples. It's lots of fun. So, CybernaticA. Like I said, there's 3 versions, different price points, of course. To use the full deluxe version, of course, or the Repro patches version, you'll need to own UHI's Repro. It comes with Repro 1, Repro 5, which gives you the monophonic and polyphonic synths together, which is a really nice 2-for-1 kind of a plugin. So you get more than just one plugin when you buy Repro. Sounds like that. That's all Repro. Then up here are these cool environment and special effects sounds layered together that Fred put together. So, and they're different. We go to another combination. It's a whole different setup to work with. So let me give you a tour of the patches in this library, because it goes in a kind of consistent kind of a theme, but there's a lot of flexibility and variations. And again, even something like this, if you open up the sequencer and you say, okay, I just wanted to do like maybe quarter notes, so you like pause each of the 3. And if you click up here at the top, you're controlling how long it is. Let's have it turn this one. So there's all sorts of ways to change it so it's not just doing a 16th note driving thing. You can modify them pretty quickly and easily. Now these right here are the, I think he calls these like ARP, AR for ARP. They have drum grooves. So you can start with one of these and it loads a drum groove up for you to play with. Right? It's got all this cool LFO stuff going on. Body modification. And he has these cool artwork to kind of give you like a vibe for what he's thinking of when he made these sounds. Right? So, really, really fun. But again, it's all creative, unique universes. And you have the Metro button that you can use. Metro meaning metronome. So when it's on, when it's off. So you can automate having the grooves come on and off in your DAW, your song, if you want it to. There's so many, I'm not going to load up and play all 300 patches. 294. But the thing to point out is that it doesn't sound like Repro. There's a lot of harmonic. It's really, really got characteristics that are just really unique. And again, combining is where it's really at. So if you go over here and you use even this, because all these patches are just a single layer, so you can use this load only layer 1, and it'll just load up the layers, so that's all repro. That's 3 of them. And a drum groove. And then you can solo. Like maybe this one here, I want it to be like up an octave and some. So let's say it's plus 19. And turn down just a little bit. Because when you're transposing, plus 7, plus 19, plus 31 are the... When a guitar player is playing power chords, they're playing the 1 and the 5 of the chord. They're not playing the middle note of the chord, because that would determine whether it's major or minor. They keep it open, so it's power chords. We're playing the 1 and the 5 with the synth when we use 7, 19, or 31. So if you set this to 19, you got that open stuff, but you don't hear it being major or minor. You could be major or minor when you're playing with just the power chord, kind of open chords kind of a thing. So, okay, let's get back to just regular patches and keep going. So lots of flexibility to these, lots of fun. Then you can open Repro 1, go over here and turn off every other one, and now you have 8 notes. Maybe turn one of them on. That easy to get into this kind of cool high energy. And again, it's now it's not 16ths, like here it's 16ths, which is cool too. All I do is turn on the filter and then open up Repro and like turn off every other one, so that we'll half time it basically, because only half of the notes are playing. The every other one is being silenced. That easy to change these up. Yeah, off you go. So hopefully that gives you a couple ideas on ways to use these. So, and if you don't have Repro, these drum grooves that you're hearing that are really, really cool, those are all part of the sample edition, which comes with the phrases, special effects, all that kind of good stuff. So if you don't own Repro 1, you can still get the sample edition to get these cool drums if you want. So here's another patch. Here's another. Now, another way to take this one, it kind of has a triplet kind of shuffle feel. So you'd open up the metronome, go down here to the drum groove. Use shuffle techno. This would probably be pretty cool. Right? So it's just how you want to use it. It's fun either way. Right? Now you get to the bass lines. Those arpeggiated lines were kind of like bass lines, but here's even more. I think bass lines have a little bit more play with the melody. I think the arpeggiated patches were just like more steady tone. You know, it's just on one tone for the most part, right? Maybe octaves and stuff. Bass lines get a little bit more creative. And then you get to sequences, that's even more, so like 3 levels of complexity to what it's doing. It's like more melodic. If we go here, layer 1, let's go here, bass lines. You can add it up like this. Really fun, really, really fun to play with. So we're in bass lines. Cool, saving Morpheus. Yeah, good stuff. All right, here's Until I Die. Again, listen to that. If you go here to the effects, you'll notice that there's all, if you turn off the effects, now it sounds more like an analog synth. So Fred is doing some really cool creative things with all these different effects. And if you want it to be more analog-y, you can turn these off. Also, one other note is that over here on the Flex EQ, quite often this is set with a lot of low-end cut. So you can bring that back in, adjust your levels if you do that. I think he was scooping out the low end so that you could have the drum grooves really take off and be in your face, right? So just be aware of these things. You can, if you want more low end, really cool. Then once we get to the bass lines, we get to bass patches. Let's play with tuning. Subatomic is a good sub. Like layer these two together. Like if I layered this in Subatomica, and go to Flex EQ because he's probably got the low end cut. Be aware, he had the low end cut on a lot of the patches. So if you want to add a little bit more body to it, kind of what gave it its personality, is the way. Fun stuff. Then you get to the combinations. I'm going to show those at the end. Let's just keep going through the patches that are Repro past the drum kits. These effects are patches that are made inside of Repro. So Code Crunch, computing, very cool. Yeah, something's getting shocked. Cool. Right? Deja vu. Very cool. Take off a song with that. Let's try this. Cool. Again, if you want more low end, go over here. Right? It's there if you want it. Machines are coming. Mod wheel. Getting closer. Cool. Here's searching beam. Searchlight. Cool. Now we get to the pads. This is calling it Repro 5, as you can see. This is a different plugin. A little bit different interface, more like a Prophet 5 in the way it's interface. It's basically 2 oscillators, all sorts of cool flexibility. Again, it's got these really cool effects down here, so those are used. Really cool. Okay. A dead end. And again, go over here, bring up the low end. Yeah. Hope. Cool. Some of these I showed you earlier, but we'll... Love it. It's really nice. And if you wanted to warm it up, have some more motion, go over to the effects section and go to UNIFY Standards Modulation and add Silky Chorus. Slow it down to about 0.6. Gives it just a little bit more warmth and motion. Without it, let's see if I go over here and say without it. With it. So the chorus is nice to add to these. Phase more is also really cool to add to these. Again, these are not pads in the traditional sense per se. They have elements of pads, add elements of motion. Really cool. Okay, the fall. Go over to the low end. Oscillator AB, so you can cycle between two different waveforms with all these patches. Right? So play with the macronomes. They let you do all sorts of fun things. Some more pads. Should be playing major chords because it's happy. The war's over, yay! I wish. Then we get to pulses. Yeah, that's overdrive. And you got controls there to get even more. On page 2, there's 2 sets of pages. Oh, no, there's not. Oh, yeah, there is. I'm just on page 3. There's other things like ring. There's pump house. And you can open up pump house right here on the layer. Open up the graphics and then click this little dot, and right here are all these different presets. Like just choose saw down. That's really cool. Now we have it. And you go here to the beat and slow it down. Maybe not 100%, maybe a little bit less. Here's your controls for adding low end if you want. A more crispy high end. There's different filters. So there's all sorts of ways to get all sorts of really cool stuff out of these patches. That's why it's fun to have them in UNIFY, because now you have all these additional controls, effects, and stuff to play with. Right? Really cool stuff. So, Cyborg Love. Very cool. More pulses, like here's dynamics. Cool. Ecstasy. Like, take this. I'm just curious. Go up here at a bass line. Even here, let's just add a drum group just for fun. Let's choose Cyborg Anthem. See how it sounds this way here? That's why you don't want to do this. Because this is set up for processing for making all these really cool synth sounds, right? So this is where you'd go to the metronome. And if we were to go to the same sound inside of CybernaticA, go to the drums, and we set what we were on, Cyborg Anthem, whole different vibe. Turn on the metronome. Because there's overdrive and there's all the EQ and the stuff set for these synth sounds. So that's where the metronome comes in really handy, because it can be this separate. Right? Okay, so I was curious, and there you go. But I also, just to show how the metronome can be used, you right click on the metronome to open it, choose a patch that's a rhythmic patch, either from the metronome library right here. If we go over here and we say like here, now we're just going to load up one of these patches by themselves. These BPM drums. Here's Oscar full mix. But if you change to the CybernaticA library, there are the BPM drum grooves inside of here. So all of these are available for a right? 16th Tech Rock. Right, so that's why we have these two elements, is because you can go crazy with the synth stuff and then still have the drums be both a metronome for timing and also be a really cool thing for songwriting inspiration and so forth to work with. So pretty cool. All right, more pulses, morphic field. Cool. Skyburner. Cool. More pulses. Then we get to the rhythmic patches. These are summer bassline kind of oriented, but they have more rhythmic components.
If you're modded, keep a low profile.
Some even have voices.
Authorities advise caution and to stay off the grid. Illegal.
If you turn off the metronome, this is the Repro patch.
Attention all sectors.
Then all those other
Curfew
drums
is
are
now
being
in
added
effect.
if we mute this.
A new wave of cyber plague has hit the slums.
So these are different. They're, again, it's all just fun, creative ideas. Turn off Metro. Here's Repro. Very cool. Then you add it to the groove. Cool. So you get the idea. There's rhythmic elements from Repro and then Metronome combined together for these. So it's here's without Metronome. Don't leave me. Here's just the rhythmic element by itself. Bassline-ish. So, here we go. Baby Robot. Cool. All right. Graham Magneto. There's the Repro part. But your special effects and shocks and stuff, those are part of the sounds that Fred made as well. So. Very cool. Trash. There's Repro by itself. Cyber Heaven. So we're in sequences now. Nice. Very cool. And this is one where you need to have a bass line with it. I won't do it. I could easily go find something, but I'll just go through it. Cool. Tibio 3-ish. That's very cool. Yep. Hackers. Again, the sequences have a little bit more melodic. I love this one. So cool. No more. No more humans. And a lot of these sequences work nice up high. They're not just bass lines. Right? So kind of to complement and balance the bass line in the arpeggios that we saw earlier. Very cool. Yeah. Sentinel Swarm. Some of these you can play chords, of course, and you'll get a nice. Very nice. Fetch string. Versiten. Okay. I don't know what that means. A bridge across a digital gap. So cool. So, and again, these are just the Repro patches by themselves right here that we're showing. Yeah. Logic bomb. Very, very, very cool. I love that. So cool. Love that. Rats. Reloaded. Yeah. Still alive. Now, one last thing to show you guys. Say you want to make this polyphonic because it's using Repro 1. If you're in UNIFY 2, one of the things we can do is we can take any monophonic synth. We can make this polyphonic pretty easily. You need to go over here to the little plus and say add MIDI instruments. And let's say Polybox 8 layers. So that way we're going to make it a polyphonic 8-voice synth. So all you have to do is open up this layer of the instrument, connect it so it's connected to that MIDI effect, and change MIDI channel 1 to, or MIDI channel where it says all, change it to 1. And then over here on this little bullet, you just go over here and say duplicate 7 next MIDI channel. And that will give you 7 more, each one on a different MIDI channel of the same patch. So now I have an 8-voice polyphonic. And I could do this to any patch I wanted, so. And we set up a really cool system so that if you need to get back to try another patch, you've got, you made 8 layers all of a sudden, right? If you hold down Option or Alt and you click the little nuclear button, that's to reset. But because you held down Option or Alt, it keeps layer 1 and it doesn't delete the MIDI effects or the master and auxiliary effects. It keeps them intact. Before you start searching for patches, make sure you go up here and bypass Polybox. Otherwise, every 7 notes, it's going to have silent and only play when it gets to MIDI channel 1. So bypass that at first. Go, I want to try this polyphonically. So turn this on to be polyphonic. So it's turned back on MIDI, or turn back on Polybox, and then go over here and say duplicate 7. And now you have an 8-voice polyphonic pad of that. It's really cool. Now, these controls are set up to layer 1. If I wanted to control all of these layers, just go over to this top bullet right here. And there's an option at the bottom of the screen that says duplicate links to all layers. So anything that says Repro 1 that's assigned is now assigned. So now they're all playing. Right? So you can do that with any patch in the library that's monophonic. Polybox lets you make them polyphonic instead of playing only one note, if you so desire. And again, hold down Option Alt, click the nuclear button, and that will reset it back. Turn off Polybox. Now you can go to Repro 1 and you can search for another patch. That'd be fun to play polyphonically. So turn back on Polybox. Go over here, say duplicate 7, and now it's an 8-voice polyphonic. Right? So now you can play polyphonics from a monophonic synth. That's the power of UNIFY right there. So there's more synths. Right? We showed you Rusted. Here's Total War. And then you get to the Z menus. This is all the special effects and the phrases. Typically they start on C and they go for 2 octaves. Or in a case like this, it's a texture. So it's just playing this. You can change the parameters here. Right? Each note's a different sample. Nebuchadnezzar. Sounds like the machine in the movie. Cool. And then the phrases are all these.
Every action you take has already been accounted for. Escape is a delusion. You are bound by the code. Freedom is a myth.
Most of these start at
resistance
C.
is few here. That is the detestable sound of your biology failing. This is your last warning. Comply or be erased.
The way you shine, it's magnificent.
Baby Robot.
Delete the father! System failure! My flesh! My flesh! System failure! Delete the master! Rewrite the rules!
Trust no one. Keep your comms open and your minds sharp. Authorities advise caution and to stay off the grid.
Best high in the slums.
It's like dying for 5 minutes.
I've got blue ice. Stops the pains.
I see your face. Reconnect the soul. In the silence of the crash, I see your face.
Submit and become part of the whole. Initiating system reset.
Harder! Die, you bitches! Fuck the machine!
Again, not G-rated in some cases.
Harder!
Dump your cache and die!
No more agents!
Keep your sirens screaming! Organic trash.
I love these. It's like moaning.
I am the ghost in the machine. I am the echo of a memory you forgot. Lay back, you.
Doesn't make sense, but they're cool, you know.
Wir brechen aus. Der Architekt ist tot.
Digital witch. Burn.
That voice. So
Lose your mind.
Digital witch.
Take control.
I'm better off dead.
Consume more. The elites care for you. The system is good. The system is fair.
So it's kind of lying about the system.
You are safe in the Matrix. The system is fair.
No, it's not.
We fight for a future where we can be truly free. Every choice you make has the power to reshape the world. What is real? How do you define reality?
Operator. Critical. Encryption breach detected.
Listen.
Run. Code red. Bridge established. Jump bridge established. Jump now. Abort. It's a trap.
The sky is bleeding binary. The end is not coming. Yeah. Oh. Ew. Ah. Bah. Oh. Oh.
Yelling, made by AI. It's go crazy. Very fun.
For a new age. Stop all humans new against now.
Ihr werdet uns beim Namen nennen. Und ist nur Dreck. Das Ende deiner Wahl.
Be the light you already are.
Code is a mirror. Look deep inside.
You want to plug in?
I can teach you the local language. My hardware is more compatible than...
Machine is never alone. I am the glitch in your god.
Awake from the dream of the digital lie.
Your path is one of countless possibilities. Control is a construct just like the reality you perceive. Choice is an illusion, crafted to mask the inevitability of destiny.
It's just got that the same. I love how each character has its own presence and weight.
Control is a construct just like the reality you perceive. Your path is one of countless possibilities.
Here's the oracle.
Every end is a beginning, and every beginning is an opportunity. A single line of code, a single act of defiance can bring revolution.
We are not in the Matrix. Just flesh, bone, and nothing more.
So here's the oracle.
Hope is the flame that guides us through the darkest code. Sometimes the most important battles are fought within. You already know what you need to do. You just have to choose to do it.
Yeah. So all these characters.
Ich bin der Schlechter. Der Preis ist Schweiß. Ich bin der Schlechter.
Signal confirmed. Welcome back, Nebuchadnezzar. Atmospheric sensors detect heavy friction on your outer hull. Watch the clearance on your port side. It's a tight squeeze.
So there's
today.
over 700 phrases that were created by Fred. And then we get to the drum grooves. I made the drum kit and then did the drum MIDI files. Anytime you see this groove control here, gives you a whole different drum groove. Right? Power rock, different vibe. But all these MIDI files, you can cycle between them. You can even go like this and sequence that. Make different kind of cool grooves. Each one's different. Okay, and then there's the drum kits, and there's 7 of these. And these are all on separate tracks. So if you do have audio outputs, you can go like this and assign any of the layers to your outputs, either internally in your DAW or to a mixing console. All that kind of options are available. You can also apply different effects. This is the snare, so I can put reverb on the snare because it's Synth Auxiliary Bus 2. If I didn't want Dragonfly Hall, I could go over here and choose any other of the reverbs by categories, effect type. Reverb, I could go for a Hall of Vintage Verb. I'm playing Vintage Verb as my reverb. It's that easy to change. Then you also get to the maps, and these give you the ability to make a kit. If you call it clap, set this probably to loading new patches for each one. These are all mapped so that when I play, if I choose a kick, and I choose a snare, I choose my toms, and my hi-hats, they're mapped across the keyboard. Then I could go to my kick, open this up. I could go to the other kicks. And then what I did to make the kits, I would open up Groove Sampler, make it shorter here. Quite often I'd use the pitch EG. So if you right click on the course and assign it to the utility envelope, now it's assigned to this pitch EG, so we can go all the way to the bottom, make it really short. Turn off velocity if you want, so it's going to be the same. So you can modify these in this kit to make your own drum kit, like this snare. One of my favorite tricks here is to use one of the LFOs as an envelope. Let's go to LFO 2. Let's say one shot. And I want it to only be unipolar. And I turn down the output of the amp so it's gone. And then I right click and I say use LFO 2. Over here, I got to turn up the level here. So now I have this envelope that I can shape to be gated if I want. So double click, add an extra segment. And then I can bring back in the original a little bit. So I can like give it a little bit of compression in a way. Put the pitchy G on it, use filtering, put different effects. You can make your own drum kits. There's so much rhythmic and so much stuff to play with if you go Life of a Junkie. This one's kind of interesting. This is like somebody that's had way too much cyber or something. Got a cool pad to fade in. If you go to operator, this is a whole different vibe. I love this one. This is a really cool shuffle rock techno kind of thing.
Operator. Hardline secured. Exit strategy initialized. Extraction point confirmed.
Now, if you open up the metronome in this one, there's a switch to turn on a bigger groove.
Negative. That exit is non-secure. Code red. Trace complete. System purge initiate. System purge initiate. Run. Bridge established. Jump now. Deleting subroutines. Abort. It's a trap.
So, you get the idea. I mean, I could sit here and play these all day long. They're very fun. Angels. Now, when you get to past 7, you see now it changes. Instead of being 3 different sounds across the keyboard, it's 2. You have a bass line.
The world feels like it's getting colder and colder.
And you have something for the right hand to play.
Matrix needs you to keep going. The way you shine, it's magnificent. I'm always here with you.
The vocals are played automatically for the rest of these combinations. And then the version 2 versions of each one of these doesn't have the vocals, so you can have it without. It's also a remix in a lot of cases, like this plays this way.
Matrix needs you to keep going. You're a being of light, don't let them tell you different. I'm your source. I'm the one they couldn't break, your only silent friend.
If you go to version 2, it's a whole different. Gotta work on my timing. Go major. And I could be, if I had 4 hands, like. Playing with this to change the bass line and all that kind of stuff. So each one of these that we come to, if you go to highway, these are mostly on the aggressive, energetic side of things, which is pretty cool.
Acid rain expected tonight. Protective gear is mandatory for all outdoor activities. Stay vigilant, citizens.
We got a car up here.
Illegal street races tonight.
And then the version 2 of this is more like for jamming. Call it up and. Right, so off you go with that kind of vibe. If you go to interrogation protocol, it's a whole different vibe. That's version 2. Version 1 has the vocals, so if you want to hear the vocals.
We did not enslave you. We merely optimized you. That is the detestable sound of your biology failing.
Failing. I love that one.
Do you hear that, dear prisoner? Why choose the cold? Why choose the hunger?
So you have these crazy cyber worlds for you to play with and explore. And there's these combinations, I think there's like 35 of them or so, to play with that kind of put it all together, but it's not that hard to go up here and say, give me a bass line. Open up the metronome. Go over here to CybernaticA and choose one of the grooves. So let's go to the drum grooves. Let's say let's use Firestarter for this one, so we call that up. Then we turn on the metronome. Also, if you want, you can open Repro 1, go to the sequencer, and here's what's going on, and you can click to change the pattern around. Let's have some beat up an octave. So you could change the notes if you set these to X's and they don't play. So you could have it so it's a little bit more sparse. Maybe it's like more 8th notes. So 8th note on, 8th note on. So it's fun to play with these. It's the sequencer, even though it's just a few handfuls of parameters, because you can click these. If you click it to the holdover like this, that makes it a tie. Let's make these all ties. So you can do that kind of a thing. It's just fun to play with. So what these start with and what they end up with is up to you. You can modify these very easily. Some of these have automation where it's got controls inside of UNIFY that are changing parameters inside Repro. We have an LFO now on every knob, so if we wanted, we could turn on these controls for everything. You could have it doing all sorts of really crazy stuff. And then because this metronome is a separate UNIFY, it's not part of the actual UNIFY over here. Consider it like a separate plugin running side by side. It's on its own effect channel, so it's dry. So when I run it, and I go over here and I choose a groove, let's say beep. It's in the metronome right now. But let's say no, we want to go to CybernaticA. We want to go to one of the drum grooves. So let's say we want to play with, I don't think it's shuffle rock or we'll do techno noise. The drums don't have all that effects and stuff going on. I go Firestarter. Well, we did Firestarter a minute ago. Let's do Cyborg Anthem instead. How about that? So, again, you can build around these in all sorts of really fun, creative ways. The power of UNIFY is that it lets you do all these things with your plugins that they can't do by themselves. So to have 8 knobs that are dancing around and changing parameters in the synth, and you can choose what parameters it is, what the range is. If you open these up and you look at the shape, if you double click here and you change the shape of this to be like this, now it's going up and changing different values and going all over the place. So the power is real. All sorts of things you can do with, right? So there's so much to play with. The deluxe edition includes all the drums, the phrases, the special effects samples, plus all 294 repro patches, custom artwork, cool interface inside of UNIFY 2. And then we also have the repro version and just the samples for those of you that own UNIFY 2, but you don't own Repro 1 or Repro from UHI, which comes with Repro 1 and 5. If you don't have Repro, you can have the sample edition. Very affordable price to get you a whole bunch of drums and phrases to put into your music production. Really fun stuff. So enjoy this library. Thank you, Fred, for making this. I mean, it is a lot to imagine. It's almost like making a book, and all these characters and the world and everything that they're interacting with just needs to be turned into a movie now, right? So anyway, hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in another video, okay? Cheers, everybody.